Hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 59 of FinalBossTV, your WoW endgame rating show. Today we have a community special because scheduling guests is really tough around this time. We have a pre-BlizzCon 2014 special with first-time guest Bellular Gaming and returning guest for his, I don't know, 17th time or something. Nobbel's here. You may know who this guy is. He's kind of cute. He's from like the Dutch, I heard. I don't know. I don't know much about him. Do you guys know much about him, chat room? Maybe you do or don't. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But first, before we get into that, of course, Anna's here. There's Anna. Oh.
Yes, finally here, trying very desperately to get ready for my BlizzCon trip. Made the mistake of flying out Tuesday morning and am just completely unprepared. I'm flying out in less than 48 hours and I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. Long work day tomorrow and just trying very hard to get ready. So it's my fault the show's starting a little bit late, but hopefully you guys will all forgive me.
Nonsense. I was behind too. I was working on my own stuff until literally 3 o'clock, so it's no big deal. We'll get there.
We have some great guests today for everybody though. Everybody's got to be super pumped about having Nobbel and Bellular here.
Speaking of which, there's the guy that's the first time here. There's Bell. Hi, sir.
Whoa.
Hello.
Hey, hello. Yeah, how are you guys doing?
First time on the show. You ready for this? Are you excited?
Oh,
are you
yeah.
good?
Did not see that one coming.
No? I mean, we've had comments to have you on before, so I just felt like it'd be a good time to get people on before BlizzCon. Have a fun episode.
The pre-BlizzCon show, we'll talk about all the things that we're most excited about.
Yes, and then there's the guy that you may or may not know about. There he is. There's Nobbel, looking mighty pretty today. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Oh, you haven't lost your touch, bae. Oh, you romantic guy.
You were just serenading before the show. Come on now. Come on now.
You put me in the mood, man, with your candlelighted bae.
Oh, it's true.
No.
It is.
Come on now.
Oh. So we're gonna talk about BlizzCon and stuff, but first,
let's hear a little bit from our guests about the kind of stuff that they do, because I know that people are here every week who are new to the show, and they might not know about y'all's YouTube channels and all of the things that you do for the community. So let's take a moment and have each one of you guys introduce yourselves a little bit. Bellular, let's go with you first. Where can we see all of the cool stuff that you do online?
YouTube.com/Bellular Gaming. It's my ill-conceived channel name. So yeah, I make videos.
Just advertise. Post those links there, man.
Advertise. Let's self-market.
All the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I do. Just make videos, news, guides, the whole shebang, really.
Now, what kind of videos do you make? What sorts of things can we see in your guides? What are they guides about?
Things. Just about all of the things is the main goal. Garrisons, followers, hunters. Sometimes not the best hunter. Maybe not good enough to be in the hunter episode, but maybe I'll get there. Yeah, it's stuff like that, really. Everything for the expansion coming up.
So general WoW videos, and it sounds like a lot of beta coverage for the new expansion.
Oh, yeah. It's been a fun weekend with the beta closing on Monday.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
It's true.
Yeah, woke up 7 a.m. when it's MO champion and nearly had a heart attack.
Yeah, a little bit.
And now I know I asked you before the show, but just so that everybody else can hear, will we see you at BlizzCon?
I'm afraid not. It's a long way, it's a lot of money, and a bit busy. But hopefully next year. Be fun to see.
Maybe another time. You'll be in the crowd watching from the internets.
Yeah.
Now, Nobbel, let's hear a little bit from you. Everybody watching the show today should be familiar with you, but just in case they're not, what can we see about where you do, and what kind of stuff do you put up online for everybody?
Well, first of all, you can find me over at youtube.com/Nobbel87 and also twitch.com/Nobbel87. Buy my merchandise, please. And if you've never heard from me, you should directly go to Nobbel87. Just type it into Google. You can find me there. Please watch me, everybody.
I'll make sure to put you guys in my copy paste and pump y'all in chat quite a bit throughout the show today.
Buy his mugs.
Buy my stuff.
As long as they're cuter than those Murloc mugs, you know, I'll definitely make sure I pick one up.
I will have to make some merchandise for you then, especially. But what do I make? I mainly make lore videos for World of Warcraft. That's what most people know me about. I've also been covering the World of Draenor beta. Now, I've seen Bellular working his butt off the past beta, so I haven't produced that many videos as he has, but I did my best. Focus more on the story side of the beta than on the video guide side.
Right.
And yeah, that's what I've been doing, man. That's more.
It's sort of like each episode we always have, it's not always intentional to have like this yin and yang of what we do, but like if Bellular makes guides, Nobbel makes story videos, so it's sort of like the two halves of a whole, if you would. I mean, no PvP on this show because we're a PvE dragon slayers, right? But yeah, it's always interesting how we get that on the show. I like that though. That's fun.
Now, Nobbel, you've been streaming a fair bit lately. Is that correct?
Just a little bit.
I keep seeing your stream pop up on my phone.
Yeah, that's what this year's been the focus on about. Previous year I've been focused on the YouTube channel, and well, since I was here last year, we reached the 100,000 subscribers, and this year's been the focus for streaming. And of course, with the beta, there's a lot of things to cover and easy to stream with a background. Then there's the soloing of the old raids. So yeah, we've been busy. It's been fun.
Sounds good. Well, hopefully everybody here has checked out our guest YouTube videos and definitely has seen our Final Boss stream as well, because there's been a whole lot of Warlords of Draenor preparation going on everybody's channel.
You know, Nobbel, we can go with the apparel and art plugs too, because Final Boss has an exclusive designed by Human Store that launches 3 more designs on top of the 5 or 6 we already have with On My Own today. So I mean, come on now, right?
Advertise, man, like shameless.
I know.
Shameless advertise.
Self-promotion, it's okay. That's how you get people to come see all the cool stuff that you do.
Just don't do it on Reddit.
Buy it. Oh yeah, you'll be torn apart.
Reddit don't like that. They don't like
it's all right. Nobody actually reads Reddit for WoW stuff anyway.
No!
Get on Twitter.
Oh no.
Shots fired.
Oh, shots fired. Oh my goodness. All right. So with a little bit of that out of the way, I kind of wanted to go with a little bit of background on like your time on YouTube. I know things have obviously changed a lot for both of you this year. I mean, usually when junkets happen and new expansions come out, because we didn't have anything last year. Right? We were Miss Pandaria for the whole year. Nothing came out. You know, we got a little bit of BlizzCon, you know, kind of stuff like that. We already knew the expansion was coming out, though, past last BlizzCon. So how has your YouTube life been up till now, Bellular? Like, what's been your, like, stories and trials as you've been progressing on the internet? Yeah.
Well, we'll start from the very beginning. So originally, I really wanted to be good at StarCraft 2, which is somehow the channel came apart. And I thought to myself, right, gonna do a stream. I'll stream every day, and of course, like every time I've tried to get good at StarCraft, that died in 2 weeks. But I really got the knack for making videos, so did that. Covered the game up to 5.4. It turns out a year of Siege Orgrimmar, not that good if you're doing daily news. So it's a fun transitionary period into the Draenor beta, but yeah, that really takes us up to now.
Well, very awesome.
Good times, though. Good times, yeah.
Do you have some big plans for the next expansion?
Aforementioned guides that I was pimping. Pretty much them.
How often will these aforementioned guides be pimped, quote unquote? Like, how many videos a week you looking at?
Well, usually I go for 1 to 2 a day, so probably keep that up.
What? 1 to 2 a day?
Don't tell that to the people from my... He is, yeah.
Sometimes it seems like a full-time job what you guys do on YouTube. 1 to 2 a day, that blows me away.
Yeah.
It's fun, you know? If it's fun, then it's not really work. It's the way I think of it.
Well, those of us who watch your videos definitely appreciate that stuff.
True. And then, Nobbel, you've been on YouTube for, I don't know, what, like 14 years so far now, right? So, like, how...
Been on YouTube since he came out of the womb.
Yes!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He was born with his first words were, "Hello, everyone."
Hello, everyone. So give me a teach, please.
How's your journey been so far this year on YouTube?
Mind-blowing. Still mind-blowing. I disagree with Bellular on the fact that if it's fun, it's not work. For me, it really feels like work. And it's your own company. So a lot of hours go in there. It's fun, don't get me wrong. And I do it with a passion and a love. But you definitely make some sacrifice on the side.
Right.
And what I've been doing, I was kind of hoping to reach 200,000 subscribers this year. And then I did the story of Warcraft, like the full version, and that kind of blew up in my face and was posted all over the internet, which was incredible. So we already reached that goal. So yeah, it's been similar to how I was here the first time. It's making lore videos, the beta coverage, of course, streaming and a couple of highlights from the stream. And then when Warlord actually releases, I would like to do some solo guides again, which I haven't done in quite some time. But yeah, it's been amazing, man. And the people are so sweet and so nice. And especially since you now can interact more with them, with the Twitch, with the Twitter, with the Facebook. you get to know people, and those that have just been watching your videos from afar now actually become friends and fans and people you interact with on a nearly daily basis, and it's amazing.
There seems to be, there's like a 4-tiered system that kind of works for like us content creators right now, right? Like used to be like you just made packaged stuff on YouTube and you could like comment and talk on the YouTube comments, but it's kind of gone to the wayside now. That's now on like Twitter. Yeah. So like your Twitter, you have the one-on-ones with people, if you keep up with it a lot anyway, like because Twitter can be kind of like crazy, but Twitter kind of adds to that now. And then with your packaged content on YouTube, then you kind of move toward the interactive side with Twitch streaming, right? Or just live streaming in general, no matter where you do it. And I think that builds a really interesting community there as well too. And then the 4th level is going to the convention, right? Going to BlizzCon, or going to other conventions that Blizzard has a good presence at, and meeting your fans in person. Like that's like it's so incredible how that happens. So this is a lot of fun, honestly.
Absolutely. And absolutely the best part I feel like is interacting with the fans. You know, when you said that you have way more options now to do that than you used to have, that's really exciting for me. And I can definitely tell that's probably why you like streaming so much, is that you get real-time interaction with the people who are watching.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I originally began with the solo guides. I always figured like I can do this, and if people want to do this, all they need is a couple of pointers. So you started out with a helping mission, and it's the same with storytelling. You want to tell them because you want people to learn and to know. And now that you got the one-on-one, it's beautiful.
Yeah, Twitch is really, it's just so great being able to see everyone actually have a chat one-to-one as people instead of just faceless YouTube comment people.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great time for all this.
It really is.
Definitely.
And I guess there are certain echelons of this interaction too, because like depending on what kind of like following you have, either or, depending on where you go, you know, convention wise in the world, you get different amounts. Even like to some degree, some YouTubes now have their own like, you know, nuggets in conventions themselves. Like you keep going like that. And I think it's a really awesome side of this community because like other facets don't really have that as well. Like you can like meet like actors at like press events. That's about it though. But like in our gaming community right now, there's a lot of ways to connect with the content creators that I really think makes a better community overall. Where like it evolves and gets better and better and better. And there are still so many people that actually come on Twitch. I'm sure you guys have both seen it. They're like, first time here. Like, what? I've been on Twitch for 3 years. First time here. Well, you know, welcome. But like, it's so weird that it's still growing. Still growing.
Absolutely. And what you said about conventions and interacting with the fan base, that's why I like Blizzard so much with their BlizzCon. I don't know that many gaming companies that actually create such a huge event for people to come together. And when they skip a year, the people are actually disappointed. And they're like, where's my BlizzCon? So I'm very happy that there's a new one this year, even with the virtual tickets. And I'm crossing my fingers for another one next year because I'm going to be there. I don't care what I have to do, but I'm going to be there.
Didn't Mike Morhaime say after they skipped the very last one, he did say, I mean, I'm not sure if it's something that you can hold them to, but he said that skipping a year was a mistake.
Yeah.
And they really mean to have one for every year from here on out. I mean, they didn't have one because they didn't think that they had anything to announce, and because it's a really big pain in the neck for them to organize that kind of thing. But I think that after they skipped a year, they said like, no, we're not going to skip a year again. Even if we have nothing to announce, we're just going to do it. Because, I mean, at least for me, I don't go to see Blizzard announce new stuff. I go to meet the people who I've met online and see my community that I love in person. So
they've got so many games going on anyway with Hearthstone and Heroes. Like they've got enough content for as many BlizzCons as they want nowadays.
There's got to be something new in Hearthstone or in Heroes of the Storm or in WoW or in StarCraft or in Diablo. There's something new in one of those franchises.
Yeah. Absolutely. We'll dig into all those later because some people were like naysaying this year's BlizzCon, like, what are they gonna announce? They can't announce
people naysaying something that Blizzard is doing.
Right,
no,
exactly.
Say it ain't so. Nobody does that.
I know it's weird, but I honestly think compared to last year's, this one has more stuff going on. Like it has no like crazy big blanket next expansion announcement for WoW as their flagship, right? Because they already know what's coming out. You know, it launches right afterwards. But I think there's an interesting amount of so much else that I think sort of levels the playing field. Because not everyone goes to BlizzCon for WoW. And if you go for to BlizzCon and it's like a WoW expansion we're launching, you're like, well, I don't really play Warcraft. Then you're just like, is this convention even for me? So this one feels like it's like a Blizzard convention now with everything happening.
Right.
So much stuff.
Yeah,
So-
it'll be a fun time no matter what, and we'll all have a good time. And for
Right.
those of you guys who aren't coming to the convention, I'm sure that Bay will have tons of video content for you to watch afterwards. And if you are coming to the convention, you'll definitely have a chance to see the both of us there.
Right. I think so. A little bit of like side plugging then, if you guys are curious. So last year with BlizzCon, we made the BlizzCon behind the scenes, which was like fly-throughs and everything like that. And all the footage that I took, and it was like, you know, the crew was there, and Anna was jumping up and down and stuff like that. We were drawing on the wall. This year, we're getting another behind-the-scenes episode again. Myself, and we actually have a camera lady going with me. So there's 2 cameras running for Final Boss this year to capture footage. So we'll have the BTS video, right? We'll also have more of a vlog-ish sort of interviewee where I'll like bump into people and like interview folks, like, you know, pro players or awesome cosplayers, stuff like that. Sort of more of like a, again, like more of an interview vlog type video. And then there'll also be the live raid. So there's at least 3 videos this year, up from last year. So going from 2 to 3. And then there might possibly be like a convention life, like just being in Anaheim during those 2 days. Like the hotels, the parties. So I may make 4. Just depends. It's a lot of work. So just hold on. Just check the YouTube out. We'll get there. But at least 3
good stuff.
Possibly 4 videos that if you don't get to go to the convention, you could watch these and like experience all the stuff, at least from as much as I can capture. So you guys can, you know, experience that for yourselves. Which if you missed the ones from last year, those are on the YouTubes. So you can go check those out if you want to see what changed. But
Advertisements.
Advertisements.
Nothing but advertisements.
All of our links are down below, right down below the stream. They're all down there. Those awesome little buttons, they're all right there.
Including the wonderful t-shirt store.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty fantastic t-shirt store right there.
It is. Nobbel sporting one.
Yeah. So Anna and myself are there it is. Nobbel and Anna and myself rather are going to BlizzCon. We're also going to be with Ophia, our camera lady, Primal Shock, and Illumina. Those are 2 of our production assistants. And then, so Belle, you and Nobbel, they're going to watch the virtual ticket. However, are you going to be churning out videos like the days of kind of stuff?
Of course.
Yeah.
Just like last year. Yeah. It's going to be 48 hours with BlizzCon. It's going to be constantly going.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. It's one hell of a weekend.
I'm not looking forward to it.
I hate that the launch is right after BlizzCon. It's just such
Sort
terrible
of.
timing because I always take time off of work for expansion launches. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person watching this show who does that. And so I had to tell my boss, like, so I'm going to be gone for a week, and then I'm going to be back for 2 days, and then I'm going to be gone for another 2 days again. And you guys are just going to have to survive without me. So
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's interesting, too, because Anna and I have to make sure shows happen. Now, the shows that happen after the initial launch will just be, like, easy, like, live Q&A kind of things. Nothing. The junket we had for Mr. Pandara where we interviewed 2 players for class and spec won't be happening until, like, Mythic gets killed a bit more. So we also have 1 Blizzard, possibly 2 Blizzard dev interviews coming up here. Penned for December and February, sort of a pre-Mythic race and post-Mythic race interviews. So more details on that will happen. And lots of stuff. And that's, of course, on top of the fact that leveling and raiding and garrisons and the grind and just playing the game and having fun and everything else involved.
Playing video games.
Playing video games is so hard! Nobbel, it's so hard. It's just so hard sometimes to play video games.
I know. So difficult.
Woe is us.
Woe is us indeed.
First world problems, hashtag.
Indeed.
So we have a little bit of a break in the time here before we move on to the nitty-gritty and the meat and potatoes. Does chatroom have any questions for us? Please feel free, guests. Just chatroom is a guest on this episode, more so than normal ones, where we can just sit here and watch you guys for a little while. We have about 10 to 15. So just let's chatroom go. Questions and things. Ask us or our guests. Just go for it.
So
And we'll wait.
1 minute from now when we see all of your questions.
And the chatroom goes. Yeah, exactly.
chatroom-
Skevin asks, are you a wizard? Wow, that is some spelling
Absolutely.
right there. I'm not sure if we want to see that again.
Are you a wizard? Are you a wizard? You're a wizard, Bellular. Go away, weird man with a beard. Go away.
What?
Somebody in chat has asked, who's that woman 3 times? He can take a 10-minute break and come back when he can use Google.
That's Annafel. She raids in Something Wicked, which is technically the guild where DBM comes from, and that's her face right there.
Let's see. Can you rub your beard more in a villain way?
Which one? Nobbel's beard or Belle's beard?
Hey, go here, dude. What are
Let's
you
see. All
talking
of you guys can see who
We're
has
being
the best
outbearded.
villain face. Probably Bay. Oh, Nobbel's making a play for the win. I'm giving that one to Nobbel
like
right there.
Yes!
Really? You can't see me. How do you even know what I was doing?
Oh, you're right. I can't see you at all. I'm full of crap. They calling me out.
Chat room will let us
He's
know.
completely correct.
Oh my gosh.
Will Bay ever shave the beard? We're getting some serious questions here. I think no. I think
probably
that
not.
the world would have to end first. I couldn't imagine Bay without a beard, honestly.
I gotta like keep working on it to actually get the full Wolverine going on, because right now it's sort of like something. It's called what does Brutal call it? He calls it something. He calls it the uniburn. That's what he calls it, because it just goes from my sideburn to my sideburn without actually having like the mustache and the beard. The uniburn.
Will Nobbel take off his hat? No, we always see Nobbel in a hat.
That's where I keep my lore. I can't do that.
It's holding it in, because if
he didn't have the hat on, it would all explode out. Clearly.
Yes.
We're like all over the wall here with all rainbow colors and stuff.
But you also need the question mark there so that people know that you have quests to give.
Yeah, but my reward is reputation. People are always like, what do I get for reward? And I'm one of those reputation guys. Like, go back again, go get me more stuff, and you'll just get a little bit of reputation.
Now, I can't tell if it's the same person having said this 20 times or if it's multiple people, but I keep seeing the Eye of Ashara mentioned in chat. What is going on with this?
They want to jump ahead in the episode. Who wants to take this? Bell, Nobbel, who wants it?
Both of
you. Cool. Well, the Eye of Ashara popped up in a trademark office, so we don't really know what it is. It's probably... I don't know, guys. Do you think Hearthstone? That's what I think the consensus
like
sort of is.
I think Hearthstone.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's a new title claimed by Blizzard, and this time Azora is really a Warcraft name. Eye of Azora, most likely. Last time we had like Curse of Naxxramas for Hearthstone. Eye of Azora sounds similar. Most likely in Hearthstone expansion. It could also be a WoW expansion, but I find it very unlikely. We haven't even set foot yet on Draenor on live, and now already a new name for an expansion. It's but it seems unlikely.
But they sort of do that, because if you noticed on their trademark slate last year, we didn't actually see the Warlords of Draenor name come up on their trademark slate until a couple days before BlizzCon. Because everyone was like, what's going to be called? The Dark Below, or Corgis Unleashed, or whatever. And then a couple days before, we got that name. Now, there's been speculation that we actually might get the new expansion teaser before we do now, but you don't think it's possible, so I don't know. That makes it again. I think Hearthstone makes sense.
I mean, not possible. Nothing is impossible. Blizzard can do whatever the hell they want. I just think it's a little bit silly to announce a new expansion when you haven't even set foot in the latest new expansion just yet. It seems to devalue Warlords of Draenor if you're already going to release, like, okay, this is going to happen, but wait, there's more. We're going to go do this and do this and do this, and you're like, okay, can we get that then? I want the new stuff.
Yeah.
So that's and Curse of Naxxramas did fantastic for Hearthstone, and I'm gonna go for Hearthstone expect, to be honest.
I mean,
makes sense.
There's some really nilly in chat. People are talking about Warcraft 4.
Well, I don't think so.
I
would be shocked.
I've seen some. It's a guy at university who. I think he was in some like shady-ish IRC channel that saw a whole bunch of like this Warcraft 4 stuff. I should have prepared the details and stuff, but not Warcraft 4, Warcraft 3 revamp.
Yeah.
So apparently that could be a thing.
It could be.
I am up for that. That'd be great.
Right. Well, we've been. Oh my goodness! I think it was months ago or more now. And Nobbel talked about how if I expounded upon that, he wanted a relaunch of the entire Warcraft trilogy. All 3 expansions and all 3 games put together. My one-up was that it should be made. They have the Heroes of the Storm engine, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
If they remade Warcraft 1, 2, 3, repackaged it, and released it in the Heroes of the Storm engine.
Yeah, could be.
Oh my goodness.
That would nail
Oh my
it.
goodness.
Awesome.
Everybody who played the old Warcraft 3, which is a lot of people, would just die of happiness.
It's one of the better games still out there.
And some people never actually played Warcraft 1 and 2 because they can't get over the fact that it's just so old. The interface is so archaic. Like, playing Warcraft 1 right now is, like, hard. Not because the game is hard, but because of, like, you can only select, like, 6 people at a time or 9, and there's no hotkeys. You have to click on everything, and the UI is, like, tiny 4x3. Like, if that was in Heroes of the Storm engine, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There you got a little bit of drool here, buddy. You got a little bit of drool there.
just a little bit.
Sorry, let me get that off. It's the same.
He's not the only person, you know, he's not alone when thinking
Right.
about that kind of game. I'm sure that
No.
would excite a lot of people.
Yeah.
Revamp would be amazing.
Well, I have another question since chat actually exploded with some questions recently.
Right.
I've got a question from Justin Bragg 911, and we'll go with you first on this one, Bellular. How do you feel about giving your character names out? I asked this question to WoW Insider, and they said they'd never make their tunes known publicly. Do you give your character name out? Do you ever get fans that whisper you in game?
Well, yeah. It would be hard to watch my videos with my character in them, and then I suppose not see my character. So yeah, all my stuff's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's
Is your character named Bellular?
Yep, indeed.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I am Anaphil, and Bay is Bay, so we're the same way.
It's true.
Do you get people who come up to you like, "Oh my God, it's Bellular! Oh my God, can we do a raid together? Oh, I'm your biggest fan." Because that was
the real you.
Yes, it's not really you, is it? It can't. Why are you imposing? You're not the real one.
Yeah.
Do you get people who whisper you in game, Nobbel?
Yeah, daily basis. I'm on the same page with Bellular here. I'm not secret about my name, also my server and my guild, especially because those copycats, I want to be one step ahead of them, and I want people to know where to find me, so they can do the check. I made a separate window for my whispers, so whenever I stream or record, my whispers don't automatically show up because I don't know what people might whisper me, and if it's rude, I don't want it on the screen.
Right.
And the other day, I had somebody who was a little bit too enthusiastic with party invites, and he made like characters with rude Dutch names and started inviting me into the party. So the other day, I installed an add-on that automatically blocks party invites, so that's fixed. And besides that, I mean, people know where to find me. But if I'm online, it's either for working or for relaxing. Either way, it's not the best place for interacting. Some don't know that. Some just want to say a message like, I really appreciate what you do. Love those people. And I will try my best to reply to them. But at other times, I'm just working. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I concur. It's the same situation, yeah.
Yeah. It's
interesting. It's sad that you have to do that and install an add-on that's going to stop those things. But you know, when you have enough people who know about you, there's just a percentage of people online who are going to pull that kind of thing. And once in a while, you get one of those people around. So
it was the first time ever. So that's saying something.
Yeah. I mean, in the other side of this thing, it's sort of, you don't know you're doing something right until you get the reverse of that, where there are hate comments. Anna and I both have actually gotten in-game World of Warcraft mail to our mailboxes telling us that we suck at what we do.
Yep. I've only ever gotten one, and I expected a lot more. Honestly, I thought that I was going to get large amounts of hate. I mean,
just
because the internet, you know, and people are like, "Oh, Twitch is full of people who are mean." But no, I've only ever gotten one person, and then I think he got really irritated that I didn't give him a response, so he copy pasted the same mail into a second mail, and it was all this like, "You aren't a big deal. Why do you think you're such a big deal?" And I'm looking at this letter like, I don't think I'm that big of a deal. Sorry, bro.
Apparently you do.
Go send your mail to somebody else.
Apparently we do.
If somebody got on my server and made a level 1, sent a letter to me. I was almost complimented, honestly. But
that's crazy.
One of these days I'll probably get somebody who's mean. Somebody watching the show right now is going to get on Whisperwind and send me a mean letter just so that I know what it's like. Clearly. but no, it was fine.
It'll be a mean tongue-in-cheek letter, though. Like all this hate, and then it'll be like, sorry, I love you, you're awesome. You know, like something like that. That'd be funny.
I do operations and customer service during the day for a retail firm, so I get yelled at all day long by people who are mad. And all the time I get someone on the phone who's really angry and is just treating somebody on the phone like crap. And then I get off the call with them and I've solved their problem and they're a happy person. So I deal with people who are angry all the time. It doesn't really bother me. And most of the time, if you're just polite to somebody, then they'll be ashamed and they'll change their behavior, or you know, you'll just stop talking to that person and it won't be a big deal anymore. So it doesn't really get under my skin.
Yeah, it's a weird, I mean, as we all know here, the internet anonymity wall is a interesting beast. And certain people, I mean, respectfully, Final Boss is a very small fish in a very large sea. There are much more popular streams and shows, and you know, and in the same regard, content creators on YouTube. Sure, we were talking about some earlier today in the show about, oh my God, their subscriber numbers, holy crap, like it happens. But that garnishes interesting amounts of like love and hate, right? And I kind of feel like you're going to get both. You can't always make everyone happy. We've gotten so many angry comments. To this day, we still get comments on the Preach interview calling him either like a great, amazing, helpful to the community or like a total stuck-up elitist. Like, but everything he does is for you guys. So it's weird how that gets misconstrued and turned around on the internet all the time. But I think all of you just push through it. You know, you gotta take the good with the bad, and there's usually a lot more good than bad.
Yeah,
thankfully there is.
And honestly, even the comments that are critical are also very constructive. You know, I appreciate hearing something, because maybe if somebody has a certain reaction, you know, we just haven't realized how it is that we look to the outside world, or I haven't realized, or we haven't realized how the show looks. And I appreciate all of those comments. So I think it's always good. But in terms of people getting on your server to harass you or to say cool stuff, I always think that's kind of more immediate, you know, when someone comes in the game and whispers your character. So I know it's interesting that all four of us have character names that are out there and able to be found, but not everybody who does internet stuff wants to have that happen. But
it's true.
Yeah, I suppose so.
There are different levels, I think, of people that don't want the interaction and then people that do, right? Like, as we're streamers, you see my character name every night that I'm alive. Like, I can't, like, blur it out, you know? And I can't, like, play on a different character. That's my main. So it's sort of like the same way. And what Nobbel said, too, like, when you're online, especially for a certain amount, like, either I'm streaming or if I'm raiding or Bellular is making footage for a video or Nobbel's getting footage for a video, they're technically working. And if you're at work, you don't want people to come over your shoulder like, hey, I like your stuff. Hey, you know, I can ask you a question real quick. I got something to ask you. Hey, Nobbel, do you have hair under that hat? Like, you don't need that all the time.
Okay, would you like to know that one?
Right. The hair under Nobbel's hat is actually the same as the undead mask he wore on his Twitter. That's actually his real hair poking through the rubber mask.
Right.
Right. Okay, good.
No, but what you said, there's a time and place for everything. And that's why I've instituted stuff like Facebook and Twitter and the Twitch. There's a time and place for everything. And when you're online, just not time for it.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes if, you know, especially if you guys are working or if I'm reading, and I'm sure Bay gets this all the time, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm reading right now, you know, send me a message on Twitch and I'll make sure to respond to you there. But when we're on WoW, sometimes we're working.
Yeah.
So. Well, I have more questions for you guys. I've got one from Cursed Arrow that I can aim for at both of our guests today. Okay. He says, if you could ask Chris Metzen anything lore related, what would it be?
Ooh.
Could I go first, please?
Yes, please. Go ahead. Go, Nobbel.
Mr. Metzen, we all know that the world of Azeroth needs dragons. So why did you take away their ability to reproduce after the cataclysm? Why? Called to have any babies anymore. I can understand sort of that they don't have the power anymore, but why the baby part? I want my dragon claws. I want my dragon race. You're taking it away from me, man. Give it back. And besides that, please let Thrall rest for a while. We don't want a Thrall story anymore. I know you love Thrall, but please, we got other characters now. Let him chill on Draenor for a while. If we close the portal, just let him be there. Thank you.
It wouldn't be a WoW story if it wasn't centric upon orcs. Let's be honest.
Oh, of course not.
Yes, it could. That's a Blizzard mindset that they need to get away from. It doesn't have to be about orcs versus humans anymore. That's been Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, and then we got Warcraft 3. And all of a sudden, we got all kinds of races.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be orc-centric anymore. That's just because Blizzard wants it to be.
This is the interesting realm we're on before Bellular gets to ask his question to Chris Metzen, is that we are at a weird parallel with where the story technically could be completely done with, because now we finished Mists of Pandaria, which technically Pandaren were in the game with Warcraft 3, right? So we got their whole story. Now we're going back in time to like the end of Warcraft 1 to Warcraft 2 timeline with all the Warlords of Draenor, all that back story, right? Even though it's different and not totally canon, but whatever. Right, we're getting all that. So then the next expansion can literally be completely brand new stuff, I think, for the first time. Right? Like, do you guys believe, like, it could be whatever they want to do?
Totally. Yep. I'd say Aurelian Trillion comeback takes into some big Burning Legion thing, which is, like, I want that so much. So please do that. Or they could just, you know, please change your Dolan and do the Dark Below, which I think would be equally awesome, too.
Now, see, that was a weird thing. You bring up the Dark Below. That was trademarked, but it's not, it's not even for World of Warcraft. So... People were like freaking out about it, but it's not even a World of Warcraft thing.
Yeah,
So,
but it wasn't so much as the name as more as
the
what
placement.
the name implied, what the
N'Zoth.
background could be. So you got the N'Zoth Naga expansion or the Burning
South
Legion
Seas.
Outer Space expansion.
Right. Yeah. So, Bell, what's your question to Chris Metzen?
Ooh, well, Nobbel took her right out from under me with Thrall.
Sorry.
Oh, so mean. I suppose, can you bring Aurelian Terillion back and send me into space again, please? Senpai Metzen, I want spaceships. Actually, no. Farallon alternates like narrow ships coming. I want that.
Yes, freaking fleet in the sky. Oh, yes.
Yeah. It'd be so good.
Our lore boners touched there for a moment.
That's fine. That's what you guys are here for.
And then with the garrisons that you like, how you upgrade your garrisons now, that you could upgrade your spaceship with freaking lasers, Naru that show up, and space battles, going to Argus and other planets and new races, and then we find out that it wasn't just Sargeras who was evil, not just the old god, but there's a source behind that, even more threatening. Oh, and then we get Warcraft 4. Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, we've always talked about there are the two ways we can get with this next expansion after Warlords, because of the whole Wrathion involvement and the actual Burning Legion, not the Burning Crusade, but like the actual Burning Legion involvement, and how the Hellscream encounter is very, as the Garrosh encounter was an orc with some Shaw goop, the Grommash Hellscream encounter will be the Legion demons with a little bit of orc goop. So it seems like they're setting us up for a real actual Kill Jaden encounter, not this halfway through the Sunwell thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So the only way what Nobbel and I have talked about before, like just randomly, is that Aurelia and Terillion are out there right now, and they come back. They're like, he's right behind us! Oh my god! Right? And they're running to us like, Medan, he sacrificed himself to slow them down, but we gotta go! You know, and then the portal opens and he's like, what's up? So that's
right. Yes, that's how it's gonna happen. Medan sacrificed himself. Medan is gone. We got his staff though. We gave it to Khadgar. Medan is gone out of the story. Everybody happy. Yeah.
See? Yeah, exactly.
No, I personally think an Archimon is more likely though, instead of the Kill Jaden. I think they're gonna save Kill Jaden.
Yeah.
Duplicates and all that. I think Archimon is more likely. But we'll see.
He was always like the derpy, big, bombastic guy who just sent a giant army at you. Like, that would be so cool in the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want him.
I mean, with the garrison implementation and stuff like that, I also sort of like your South Seas idea too, with Ajara and the Old God and stuff like that. You make your own boat, because boats were in Warcraft 3. We have Warcraft 3 RTS in our World of Warcraft now, so all we gotta do now is expand to the ocean.
Yeah.
And same deal as the spaceships, just upgrade your ships.
Because, you know, that 3D zone was so popular that people just loved it.
Oh, well,
everybody wants more
a lot
of
of people
those.
these days that say that they loved Fashir and that they loved the water zones.
Oh, yeah.
I adored it. I mean, I just know that not everybody loved it, but I personally thought it was lovely. I did say, I do think that getting lost was a problem in that zone. It is difficult to get around, but visually it was lovely.
And my main concern is the storyline were never continued, but they could combine it. Islands and underwater. Emerald Dream, perhaps, could perfectly be available.
I mean, they had
Emerald Dream.
We did mine Emerald Dream stuff from back in Wrath of the Lich King days. Like, they made huge zones and vast vistas and things, just like they were real places, because they gave us the green dragons in vanilla World of Warcraft, and they were just like, never mind. And that kind of happens before.
You guys don't want dragons. You guys want orcs. Let's give you guys more.
Yay, orcs!
No, please.
Spoiler alert, I want dragons and orcs, perhaps in equal quantities.
I mean, Blizzard came out on an interview with Polygon about how they have plans to keep World of Warcraft going until 2024.
Yeah, that was an Ian Hazakostas quote.
So I'm pretty sure that they're okay with that. I mean, it's the largest and most popular MMO in the history of the planet Earth. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't want to just like, yeah, last expansion's next one. See you guys. Peace. Yeah. They can keep going for however long they want, because they have arguably an infinite universe. They can make a new character with your rel, and it seems pretty, you know, it works. It works. They can make new characters, and they have tons we still haven't even seen yet. So, yeah, we can...
Considering that we haven't seen half of Azeroth yet, and considering that the Dark Below is the universe around Warcraft, or around Azeroth.
There are still zones on your map you can't click on that don't exist, but are right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's planets. We've got, like, was it Koresh or something? The the ethereal people, and like their home planet.
Yeah.
There's loads of other planets, and there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
Plus, like with Pandaria and Warlords, they can, if they want, they can just pull an expansion out of wherever. You know,
Exactly.
That's what Nobbel said before. Is like if they can go time travel, alternate reality, they can do whatever they want.
And there you go.
Absolutely, they can do whatever they want. So, yep.
Whatever Chris feels like.
Maybe one more question from chat room, and then we'll move on.
Oh, I recorded a bunch.
Okay.
Oh, here's a really good one from Mr. BC Walker. Unless you had one recorded for Bay.
No, go for it.
I was watching chat for all the questions from everybody. We did get a whole bunch. Don't worry, guys. So we'll make sure to try to sneak them in later. But I like this one especially from Mr. BC Walker to our YouTubers. Is there a particular online FAQ or site you would recommend that you go read if any of our viewers are wanting to get started on streaming or making videos for YouTube? Ooh. What are the resources that you would recommend to people who want to get into that kind of thing? And Bellular, let's go with you first.
That's a good question, because really there's a lot of tutorials and things like that, but there's no definitive way to do it.
Right.
Like Present Online, I think that's really because there is no real way to just do it perfectly. It's this weird mix of just luck and kind of a happy accident, and then boom, there you go. You've got a YouTube channel rolling. So I'd say just do what you want and look at some of your favorite YouTubers, look at their very first videos and see what they did wrong and then fixed. Because I know I pumped out a lot of terrible videos, and making them less terrible is where any possible success came from.
It's interesting you bring that up too, and then Nobbel can go, just to go back and forth. The World of Podcasts panel party event before BlizzCon this year, on Thursday before BlizzCon happens, I am actually on the panel that is called Content Creation. I'm alongside Icy Veins and Pride, and I can't for the life of me remember my other panelist. Oh my goodness. But we have a little bit of, we're talking a little bit about that sort of thing. And I think that the biggest thing that I've learned from Final Boss's year plus now, and what hopefully maybe what people will see on my own launch later today, is that you got to see what's out there, and then honestly, you got to do better. It's like how MMOs come out. If a new MMO hits the board, hits the playing field for people, and it doesn't have everything another MMO has, they won't play it. You have to have so much from other games or so much from other content, not like copywriting and plagiarizing and and working off other people, but you got to have enough that makes you, but you got to also do what everyone else is still doing. It's very competitive out there too. But also, even though Nobbel disagrees, apparently you still got to have fun doing it.
I disagree. No. I'm reading chat room, man. I didn't necessarily. Well, were you done, by the way?
Yes, go. Yes, sir. Your turn.
Oh. On the subject, Bellular pretty much covered it. It's a big part of it is luck. If it was easy, if there was a set guide of rules that you would follow, everybody would be doing it. So it's luck. You can look at other people, and that's the way of the world. Not much is original these days. I would just recommend, if you're going to improve something, a concept, make it your own. People are not going to stick for the same thing. They're going to stick for you. Anybody can tell a lore story. The difference between one guy and the other guy is your own X factor, so to say. Your enthusiasm, your skepticism, your cynical Britness, Get something that's yours. Besides that, that's always the standard tips. First of all, get your quality right. Make sure that the product that you produce is the best quality that you can produce. Advertise like shameless horse. Make sure that even though you make gold products, make sure to advertise it. It can be pure gold, but if people can't find you, they won't watch you. And the final one, those are from Total Biscuit and Jesse Cox, by the way. My final tip is don't do it for the YouTube fame or the so-called YouTube money. Do it because you love doing it. Do it because you have a passion for video making, for your subjects. Otherwise, you're failed from the start. You're not going to last a second if you just do it within your mind, like, oh my God, people need to like me. Oh my God, people need to watch this. If you do it because you love, then you'll win either way. If people stick around to watch your content, great. If they don't, you're still doing what you love. And that's how I started. And that's probably how Bellular started. That's how we all started. We have a passion for what we do. And that what drives us into my second year now, Bay's third year now, Anna's whatever years now. We're busy here because we love what we do.
Yeah. It's a lot
End of rent.
every YouTuber or Twitch streamer has their own work ethic or mentality and the content they put out, right? And everyone has different levels of this. And as the viewer, if you don't like someone's content, don't watch it. Don't comment on it. that you don't like it, just don't watch it. Don't tune in, don't watch it, don't support it, right? But if ones you do like, tell your friends, tell your guildies, support it, subscribe to it, like it, comment on it. That's how it works. Like it's a big circle, right? People like to complain about things they don't like. Take that energy and just praise things you do instead. That is so much more healthy overall. And I think that it's just better for everyone involved. Because a lot of us do a lot of work that people don't realize that what happens. And it's a little bit selfless at times. Because if we don't do it, then no one would in our minds, what we're doing anyway. And yeah, it's just a lot of things I think go, I guess, unappreciated in this realm, which is to some degree fine. And it's going to be expected, which is, how YouTube and Twitch and stuff works. But if not, if you want to be a part of these communities, then there's no reason why you talk to us right now. We're all sitting here reading chat in some regards. We watch our Twitter. Nobbel checks his Facebook all the time. Bella, where does most of your stuff come in through? YouTube or Twitter?
Same? My stuff?
Your fan interaction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Twitch stuff too.
Mainly Twitter. I had to take a little bit of a break from YouTube comments because...
well,
Well, you know how comments go. They kind of fry your brain a little bit.
Right.
Getting better though. But yeah, mainly Twitter. Twitter's actually great. If there is anyone you want to have a chat to, just find their Twitter. It's just the best place, I'd say.
Yeah, it's interesting how this whole realm of content creation works. So yeah.
Yeah.
Any last questions, comments, or you?
Nerdly says, but I thought complaining is what makes me a WoW player.
Sadly, there are many questions from chat, but we can get to them later, or they can be asked on Twitter later.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. We have a lot more stuff to get to, more like BlizzCon-oriented stuff, but right now I'm going to take a moment and tell you guys about some things behind the scenes, or some updates and announcements and things about Final Boss and not. For example, if you don't already know, the link is down below. If you don't know what MMO Champion is, MMO-Champion, then I guess you may be living under a rock, because easily one of the best sources for everything World of Warcraft related. Oh my gosh, so much everything. The team over there that works and makes all these posts and art blogs, updates and blue posts and community interaction things, and the Nerd Lords of Draenor stuff that just come out with Jesse Cox and Krendor and thing. Like all this stuff goes right here. If you need a repository to figure out what the heck is going on, which to this day, I still get comments like, what is happening? Or what went live? Or what's going on? Like in Twitch chat, just bookmark mmochampion.com. There you go. Just get right on that. This is like one front page right now. It's so much stuff. So everything you need to know gets pulled up here and reposited. So all your notes about BlizzCon, especially with BlizzCon around the corner, all of the news updates and things that get filtered through will be on MMO Champion. Just get over there, because if you like miss something or can't get the virtual ticket or can't go and you're waiting for tweets good or too, but everything will go up on MMO Champion as well. Additionally, today I blurped it up over Nobbel's face, like whoopsie daisy, because I didn't have it up earlier. Oh my goodness. On My Own is a 9-month project that we've been working on now behind the scenes. Nobbel and I put it together. Silver Latomi voiced and did all the lyrical writing and stuff like that. Rogahara K. Alice did all the animation. Vanille did the models. It is a Machinima music video parody. It goes live later today after the show is over. I'll give you a little bit of a look at the launch poster here. The launch poster will also be, of course, shamelessly plugging our apparel and art store. Will be available for purchase, as well as some shirt designs and things. This has been a huge undertaking and is our first foray into other content. You'll probably find it on MMO Champion too, now that I just think about it. So if you guys want to watch this the moment it comes out, head over to our YouTube page and we'll see you there. Our next big foray into this content creation side is going to be War Crimes, the novel by Christy Golden, the newest one that just came out that bridges the gap between Mists of Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor, is War Crimes, as well as the little Hellscream side story that we're actually going to be integrating into our version of War Crimes. It's a 10-part Machinima episodic, 10 episodes, roughly about 15 minutes in length each, using the new models and fully voice-acted by names such as Duck Sauce. Jesse Cox is involved. Probably talk to Krendor as well. I'm going to talk to the Team 4-star people. I plan on getting on the horn with Patrick Seitz, the actual voice of Garrosh Hellscream. I did talk to Chris Metzen in LA when I went out there to the launch event, that he would love to do voices for it. Just have to go through the red tape. We'll see how it works. And even as far the way, because I'm going to go full blow on this, I want to get Janet Varney, the voice of Korra, and maybe even Grey Delisle to do Warlord Zayla. Like, people are going to be involved in this. And if you want to help out, send us an email at finalbosswow@gmail.com if you want to be an animator or a 2D artist, or even if you want to do voices for it. Like, it's going to be a huge production that'll come out spring to summer 2016. And it's 10 episodes, 1 episode a week for 10 weeks. So hopefully we'll see you there. Going to be a lot to do, and we need your help. But enough about that. We're back with everybody. You got some... Did you go refresh your coffee, Nobbel? What's in there?
Yeah, it's coffee. Don't you wish you had some coffee like me?
I have not actually had much to eat all weekend because I've been busy, so I would like
and I also got coffee.
I always have coffee.
I have water.
I'm pretty sure there have been very few shows these days that I haven't had a coffee or a beer, and those kinds of beverages are not allowed on Twitch anymore, so it's coffee time.
It is.
Really?
Isn't that true?
What?
Didn't Twitch just change the rules and make it so that you couldn't drink alcoholic beverages on camera?
Oh, if it's branded, so you know if it is.
Oh, I think if it's branded. Yeah, if it's branded.
You can't sit here drinking like a beer with like the logo, like, what's up, I'm drinking this. Like, you can't do that.
That's
well,
good
I usually had a koozie on mine anyway because I'm really weird and I don't like cold things in my hand. So I always have a koozie on all my drinks, and people think I'm really crazy because like in the middle of the winter, I'll have a Coke can and there's like a koozie on it. And it looks like, it makes me look like the silliest person ever.
Well, I have the Pandaren Brewmaster brand koozie on mine. It's got that channel in the back there. This is from BlizzCon Feva. I want to say 2008. This thing is old. Oh. This is like ancient BlizzCon swag right here. Look at that. So that's what always on my koozie. So.
Ooh.
All right. Speaking of BlizzCon stuff, BlizzCon 2014, the hype train cometh. So let's get into the convention. Nobbel, Bellular, what are you guys hyped about the most? We have a lot of little things here. All my question mark for possibilities. We have Legacy of the Void, next StarCraft expansion. Possible new Hearthstone expansion or adventure, whatever. New intellectual property, possibly a social game. New Diablo expansion or at least content patches. Teaser for the next WoW expansion, maybe. Here's the Storm launch date and or open beta. I think open beta was already announced to be after BlizzCon, but launch date, of course. And then, of course, the Warcraft movie trailer. What are you guys thinking? Did I lose anything out? Bellular, you go first.
I think that's everything we've got. Of course, that big gap at the start could be a Shara, could be some mythical, new project, new IP, which has been heavily rumored. But other than that, I'm just mostly hyped for the Warcraft movie because it's Duncan Jones doing my favorite franchise with 250 million. So, yeah.
He's got the money. He does.
Power.
So what are you most hyped for then, Bell? What are you looking forward to out of all this BlizzCon stuff?
Honestly, it's just the trailer itself. I want to see more about this movie because if they nail it, we could get the second movie, and who knows where that could go.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. I mean, the actual principal photography for the movie was ended in like May. Like they finished filming in like April, May. But because of how much motion capturing and how many characters that are basically like Gollum-ing into this, right? Like all the orcs, all the other races are all basically full CGI capture. Like they need over a year for that easily in the production realm. Like I totally understand how that works, but like that's people were wondering like, why is it taking so long to come out? And it's like because CGI rendering takes days per frame sometimes. So
wow.
Yeah, especially for that level of quality. Yeah. Nobbel, what about you, sir?
Yeah, I'm looking at the list. Well, I gotta, of course, join the team Warcraft movie. I can't wait to see how it's gonna look. If the Wars of the Draenor trailer, the one where we will never be slaves, that one, if any indication of what's gonna look like, then it's gonna be fantastic. And the guy who made it, I'm terrible with names, my apologies. He said that he's gonna beat that how it looked, so it should look fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, he's gonna make it look better than the trailer. So good luck to that one.
But
if it does, the story, I think we're gonna talk a little bit about the story later on. So we'll get further into that one.
Right.
But if I'll have to pick something else original. The Heroes of the Storm open beta, if not beta. I can't wait for more people to join the game and more people to play with because I have the alpha. It's so much fun. It's such a casual MMO of MOBA. I've never played that kind of game before. I'm really getting into it, and I can't wait for more noobs to get into the game, more people to play with, and I hope that it's going to be fantastic and successful because it's a great game, in my opinion.
It bridges a lot of gaps in the MOBA world, I think. And of course, if you love the Blizzard franchise, you get to play as all these different characters, and they can keep adding and adding and adding and adding more characters. How many heroes are we up to so far in the alpha?
Good question.
Is it
15-ish? Something like that?
Oh, no. I thought...
I mean, WoW heroes or all heroes?
Oh, all the heroes are in the Heroes of the Storm.
Oh.
I want to say it was like 30 plus already, right?
Yeah, there's a fair few of them.
And they can only add more, and they've data mined others that haven't been implemented in the game yet. So I think it'd be pretty neat, I think, when that gets fully released. I want to see when it goes beta or like the overall public reaction more, because right now we have only alpha, so many people are in it. But I want to see what it actually gets into that realm, because will they esport it? Will they try to? I know Hearthstone's like their big flagship now with like StarCraft 2, right behind it. I wonder. I really wonder.
People are asking me, like, did I play LoL or Dota? I didn't. And that's why I'm so surprised that I like this game. And I think that's a fantastic thing. Like, League of Legends and Dota are big mountains that I'm looking at like, okay, I might like this game, but I just don't have the time or the will to invest into it.
Correct.
With Heroes of the Storm, it's like, pick a character, you're gonna go mess around, you can't mess up that much for your teammates, you can pick the freaking butcher, and you can hook people into your stomach, and you're gonna like be like, bleh, I just ate you. It's just amazing good fun, and you're running around on your piggy, it's good fun, and it's easy to get into, and that's why I really like it. Now, will it go competitive? I mean, anything could go competitive. I don't believe they planned on getting Hearthstone competitive, and still there are tournaments for it now. Who's to say what's gonna go with Heroes of the Storm? But it has potential for it.
Yeah, I'd say it's just going to be the MOBA that really bridges things out. I remember when I was playing Smite, and in order to play it well, I was a jungler, so I had to jump around all these things. I had to keep a whole bunch of timings together. There was like 7 different people. Well, it's impossible. There's like 4 different people shouting at me to go to all these different places at different times and play the meta. Whereas in Hero of the Storm, you just fight people. It's a brawler. It's so much fun. Yeah, I just got into the alpha last week and very impressed.
No, absolutely. I think what you guys say about bridging the gap is a great thing too. And because it is sort of a low barrier to entry to some people. I mean, I've been playing League for like 3 years, right? I'm terrible at it still, but I think from the outside in, from playing other MOBA and going into Heroes, it feels like also I played Magic the Gathering for who never knows long, but college. Hearthstone is to Magic the Gathering as Heroes of the Storm is to League and Dota. Like, it has enough of the same elements, enough customization, awesome characters, but it's distilled a bit because it's also a lot more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you just said about playing League or Dota, you get in there and it's like, even like a brand new game, it's like all the Smurfs or high level characters making a new account or whatever, and they're like, oh my god, you're terrible, why are you doing this? Don't buy that item, what are you doing? You know?
Yep.
But in Heroes, you just play the game.
And sure, you'll occasionally run across the 1 or 2 person who'll be like, why are you in the mine? There's nothing to do in the mine. Get out of the mine. And I'm like, I'm in the mine, sir. Sorry. But most of the time, it's just people, very simple, like ping on the map. You go there and you help out. And then you go to the gate. And then you got team fights. And it's good fun. And even if you lose, it's not hour-long matches. It's like 30 to 45 minutes per match. So it's not that bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Charon wants to know what your opinion on all this MOBA stuff is, Anna. Do you even care?
Nope.
No.
Sorry. Don't care one bit. I play lots of other games. I play RPGs, and I could not care less about the MOBA stuff. I will say, though, that since the topic that came up here was what are you really excited for at BlizzCon, one of the best things about BlizzCon last year was when everybody was going to play Heroes of the Storm, and I'm sure everyone who was at BlizzCon had this experience of like their friends like back in line like over and over and over to play these games, and I definitely did that too. That and the Hearthstone touch screen, that was the first time that they were demoing Hearthstone on tablets at that time as well. And that's the fun part about BlizzCon is like even if you have no interest in these MOBA games, it's that you're there with all of the people that you know online and that you play your games with, and you can go test out these new games that Blizzard's doing. And so even if it's something that you have like zero interest in, like I have no interest in MOBA games, give me RPGs, I'll play RPGs. But even if it's a game that you have zero interest in, going to BlizzCon and experiencing those in person, in line at demo computers it's just so much fun. It's one of my favorite parts, and that's definitely something I'm looking forward to quite a bit again, no matter what they have out there. Even if it's Warlords, I'll go in there and I'll play some more dungeons, even though it's the same thing that we've done on beta and the same thing that we did last year. It's the BlizzCon experience.
No, it is, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to be like all like sappy and daw, but we're gonna get there because I think my biggest thing I'm looking forward to BlizzCon is just actually meeting people that have watched the show or watched the live stream. Because last year we went and Final Boss was nowhere near the level we are right now. Like, and it's just fun to be able to like see that in the comments we get, like, your videos have helped me like learn XYZ class. Like, I love these guests you brought on. Please bring them back. Like, that facilitation that we've done here on the show, I think is that there's no one else that's doing that. And I can't wait to go meet people and hang out and then record a whole bunch of footage and make videos for you guys right there, your faces. And that's the biggest part for me. I mean, it's a whole lot of work, but that's what I want to do. So yeah, we'll get there. I think a lot of stuff's coming out, and that's what I'm the most looking forward to. Seeing friends, meeting my guild again, going out with them again too. This is like CrispCon 3 technically or so with the guild that I'm in. So we have a house this year. Anna, don't you have a house?
Yes, we do. The Something Wicked house. A bunch of people got houses. I think Midwinter and Blood Legion set
Method
they definitely did the example for all of us. I'm pretty sure Midwinter has 2 houses this year. Yeah. Bunches of those guys. Yeah.
And I think that's more the community involvement, I think, is well and beyond more paramount than actually going to the convention and like walking around.
Well, and like any game, those games are so much more fun when you play them with your friends.
Yeah.
So, and that's the whole thing. Like, Blizzard wins at social games. That's what they own at. So when they give you the opportunity to test a social game with your friends in that environment, I mean, there's no question that it's going to be a great experience.
Yep. People were asking about houses, ? And stuff like that. Yes, there are houses in the Anaheim area that guilds rent out for week, 2 weeks, whatever.
It's mostly people, I think, who have vacation houses around Disneyland, because you're like 2 blocks away from Disneyland right there. And that's what people, I mean, my family did that when I was a little kid. When we went to Disney World, instead of getting a hotel, we rented a condo. So even before the days of Airbnb, people did that kind of thing. And there's all these vacation homes that are out for rent, and they're there. Like, when you look them up online, I helped my guild shop. They're there for like Disneyland people, but they'll also say, you know, next door to the convention center. And so people will rent these houses for conventions. And so a lot of us did that. I mean, I'm sure dozens and dozens of guilds probably did that this year. We're going to see a lot more people doing that. It's also way cheaper, even if you split the hotel room. I mean, I was going to split a hotel room, and then my guild got a house, and it's insanely cheap.
Apparently BL has a mansion this year, you know.
A mansion.
They've upgraded. Yeah, exactly. It's the best way to do it, though. Hotels across all your guildies going, like, we have 26 people going or something ridiculous. Some people are not staying in the house. They're staying in hotels, too. But it still works out to be cheaper in the long run, splitting a house.
Well, especially if you have someone, you kind of need somebody in town. Like, for example, my guild leader lives in LA. So he's the one who's going to go pick the key up and do the because you have to rent the house for a week. And most people are only there at BlizzCon for, 3 or 4 days. So, but even renting it for a week, it's still less expensive.
No, absolutely.
And you can cook for yourself and like have parties and stuff. So.
No, it's pretty amazing. So more BlizzCon stuff here. The other IP coming out, the Whispers in the Wind. I said like possible social game because I think it's the only aspect they haven't really broke it into yet. Bellular, do you have any thoughts on this 7th game from Blizzard coming out? Because it's not Titan. Obviously, we know Titan was dissolved. So what do you think?
It's hard. The word social game scares me a little bit. So what would you have in mind by social game?
I personally don't think they have any presence in, I'm going to say Facebook here and the social aspect of that regard. I mean, do you think they could do something like that? Because they have the mobile now with Hearthstone. They have 4 computer games. Like, I think if they want to really have this branch, because they're not going to have 2 MMOs. They've said that with Titan. They're not going to do 2 MMOs. WoW is their only MMO.
I've got a feeling like if they did a social game and they, like Metzen did his big, grab the mic, does a roar, and it turns out it's a Facebook game, I think the crowd might just lynch him.
You think so? Yeah.
little bit. But it could be fun. If anyone is to do that gameplay right, it's probably Blizzard. And I have faith in them for doing that. I think for another IP, I'd love to see what Overwatch turns into. It's probably not going to be at this BlizzCon because it's still a pretty new thing.
Correct.
But hey, a Blizzard shooter, I mean, Ghost is apparently an internally playable thing. Never know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up next is Overwatch, which is another IP, another trademark they registered. So they really don't have an FPS.
True, they don't. I don't really like the idea of them making one just for the sake of, you know, having a like FPS in their repertoire.
Yeah, true.
But they're the kings of gameplay, and FPS is all about gameplay. They can nail it.
That's true. Now, but what do you think it's gonna be?
I have no idea, man. I was distracted by the Garrosh Senpai picture.
Oh no! What? What? I missed
but you're
something?
talking about Overwatch. Wasn't that the one linked to the Hearthstone turned into the platforms, the mobile devices thingies? Like Apple and Android and stuff? Wasn't there like a spoiler where they got like the print of the robot with the blueprint and they send out to BlizzPro like, look, we got a robot for Hearthstone. And then everybody was like, oh my god! It's going to be Hearthstone for other platforms, no?
Yeah, it's right. Let me bring it up. I actually have the images, the harvest golems and stuff, the engineering blueprint thing that came out. Yeah. It's all over MMO Champion. It's right here, the Hearthstone's next expansion thing, which is right here. Right, we think it's their thing is the Eye of Ajara, right? Eye of Ajara has appeared at EU trademark base, and then Hearthpwn, if you go to any of these links, have more details. So, yeah, I don't know. But the Overwatch thing, though, like what?
Yeah, I thought that was the name for the project of that. But other than that, Overwatch, I mean, yeah, what could it be? It could be anything, man. I don't think we have anything solid to go on.
Right.
Overwatch,
There is one thing. The guy who's heading it up, I think, worked for Valve, and he was involved with Left 4 Dead. So
you're thinking the
factoid,
Blizzard-themed shooter. That's what you're thinking.
I think it could be possible, at least. I'd love to see a shooter in their art style anyway.
I think, I mean, people really wanted Ghost to be a thing, but obviously it just didn't happen years ago. But Ghost isn't dead, so I'm not going to make Ghost, right? They're not going to make something like that. But I can't imagine they could still make a sci-fi FPS.
Yeah, totally. I'm not convinced by Ghost, honestly, when I saw the gameplay of it, so maybe that's why they kind of...
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what kind of happens with the Titan. They just didn't feel it was good enough to make a statement, right? It wouldn't be good enough. That's why.
Yeah, cool ideas, though.
No, absolutely. I mean, it still exists in some way. So, yeah, Ghost isn't dead, it's frozen.
Half-Life reconfirmed.
Yep.
Now on the name.
I mean, chat room earlier just said 4 guests on Final Boss. Warcraft 4 confirmed. So
there you go. There you go.
What else could it mean?
Right.
We'll see. We'll see if you guys are proven right. Anyone going to put some money on this bet? I'll put 10 WoW golds on Warcraft 4 not being
10 WoW
announced.
golds?
10 WoW golds. I'm a little bit...
Oh, I can join you on that one. Warcraft 4 is not going to be announced.
I'm a bit poor.
We will get the anthology re-release of 1, 2, 3 HD'd or whatever before we get Warcraft 4.
Yeah, the thing with Warcraft 4, also for the storyline, if they go with the current storyline setting, then they're going to write themselves in a corner. Either they need to follow WoW, they have to follow the Warcraft 4 storyline, or they're going to predict the future, and you still have World of Warcraft that needs to follow that storyline. Right. They could go alternate reality, but that's boring, and who likes that? And then you have the origin story. That's a possibility, but I just don't see it happening.
I'd say if they really wanted to reboot the story of Warcraft, you could just have, you know, like Warcraft expansion 1 happens, then, or whatever expansion, then in between that and the next one, you've got Warcraft 4, which just sort of like runs in, reboots the story, some crazy stuff happens, which then just kind of, I don't know, goes back into Warcraft again. But yeah, it seems unlikely that they'd merge them all.
Yeah, well, I honestly wonder, I mean, the only way Warcraft 4 in my mind would work would be like that. It would be the successor to all 3 of them together, like fixing problems in the old story, because you can play the old games and like a lot of that stuff has been retconned.
Yeah,
Warcraft 1 and 2, you mean?
Yeah, in Warcraft 1 and 2. Yeah. Like a lot of stuff it's not real. But if they re-release them as like Warcraft, right? The RTS, like I don't know what they'd call it, whatever. Overwatch, who knows? Then you'd play through Warcraft 1, 2, 3 linearly in the new engine, but it would fix all the bumps on the road.
Yeah, right? Even just having the story being retold with Blizzard's the skill they've developed by now, I'd love that. Yeah,
exactly. We'll see, but I have no idea. I mean, it's just another company has been dancing around this whole issue too. With Squeenix have never been like, I don't know why they don't remake 7. This always comes up when we talk about remaking games. If that happened, gamers would freak out. They'd buy the heck out of that game because it's hard to play that game, honestly, because square hands, right?
It's okay. You've got lightning.
You've got lightning.
What more could you need?
Really, Bellular? Really?
Aww.
Even Anna had to go off for that. Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting companies sort of have a hard time, I feel, maybe propagating the expense to go back and redo something they've already done before. Is that... It's tough, but we are traveling back in time. So
yeah, please don't.
I don't think they need to...
Once is bad enough.
Yeah. I don't think they really need to add any more IPs to their catalog. I mean, they've already got 5 that they're working on right now. I would be very shocked to see them add a 6th at this year, at least.
Well, no, we are at 6 this year.
Sorry.
So you mean 7 to go to 7.
I mean 7. Yeah, my math is hard. Sorry.
I mean, they were going to go to 7 with, they were going to go to 7 with Titan anyway, technically.
But
they realized that making a company have 2 MMOs would be too...
Well, right, but Titan was envisioned well before they added Heroes of the Storm or Hearthstone to the mix, and those ended up being the successful ones. So I can imagine that part of the desire not to do anything with Titan had to be that they felt that they were making flat out better games with the other teams that they had working on things. I mean, they said it. So I doubt that we'll see, because they've already said straight out that they don't release new games just for the sake of releasing new games. They only release them if they think they're going to be good games. So I would be shocked to see them add something new just for the sake of adding something new or having something new to announce. I do not think that we're going to see a new game. Maybe not even next year. Maybe the year after, 2016. Remember this quote. I'll bet you guys some WoW golds.
Ender brings up that Overwatch could be the mobile app to monitor garrisons.
Yeah, everybody's been saying that. Mobile app for pet battles and garrisons.
Yes.
I think pet battles will come to mobile at some point too. They are just wasting money not adding that to...
Oh, they completely are. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're throwing money at the trash can, not having pet battles on mobile.
If the pet battle on mobile was like $1.99 to buy that interface to link into your game to pet battle on
$1.99 a month, people would pay that. People paid $3 a month. People paid $3 a month for the mobile auction house stuff for a long time.
Yep.
Okay. I don't think I would pay that for pet battles, to be honest. I don't think.
Well, if it was pet battles and garrisons.
The garrison, maybe. But then, I'm in a special situation.
But I know tons of people who would pay it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And especially if the rewards are high enough and you're... Yeah, absolutely.
The only reason why I think maybe they wouldn't do it is... It actually goes back to an interview with the instance that... Mumper did a while ago. It's like they didn't want to ruin the world building and like collection aspect by making a mobile app. That's what he said anyway. So yeah, but certainly people would buy it. I'd buy it.
Excuse me, what did he say? He didn't want to ruin the what?
Like they felt that if you could just pet battle from anywhere on your phone, it would kind of like ruin this whole like collection and exploration aspect that they were going for.
Oh, like that.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Because a big part of the pet battle thing was that it got people back to go into old zones and old raids and old dungeons, and so it had this aspect of getting you out into the real world and going back to places. I did that with pet battles. I wasn't even very serious, and I went back and saw a lot of zones that I hadn't been in sometimes since 2009, 2010. So it was a big nostalgia trip for me. You're absolutely right. That would it would be completely lacking that.
That's true.
But for the garrisons, I would love to get a app for my phone. Absolutely. Those missions, just wake up in the morning, like send your followers, do your building thingies. Absolutely.
That would be really awesome too, because that's sort of just like in itself, garrisons are its self-contained own game. Like it literally is. It's a game in our game now. It really, really is. Whereas like I kind of feel that like pet battles is like a subsystem because we've had pets for forever, right? So now I think that garrisons could really go well on mobile. Like really, really good.
Whether you click on the table in game or on your phone, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
No, you're still sending your followers off to do things and clicking on stuff and collecting loot. It's like a mini version of it absolutely is. That'd be cool.
They are going to do something mobile though, because all the money these days is people are on their mobile devices way more than they're even on their PCs, even gamers these days. So it may not be pet battles, but I think that we will see something expand onto mobile.
Oh, we lost Bellular.
Oh no!
Well, until then, just remote into your PC and get on your garrisons that way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I do from work.
Yep.
That's how I used to queue up.
Yep. So I guess now I'm going to ask, we're going to talk about the Warcraft movie a little bit more and kind of update people on what we know so far, right? And while Bellular reconnects, because he's a blue man right now, let's get Nobbel. What do you think? What do we know so far about the Warcraft movie, sir? And what do you expect to happen this year?
Well, what do I know so far? I think that's the better question. I haven't really been keeping up to date with the Warcraft announcements. What I remember for last BlizzCon is that they said it was going to be from the perspective of Duratan and Lothar. So we know it's going to be the setting of the first second war. We've seen later they announced that there was an actor found for Medivh, which means that they'll have to deal with the Medivh storyline at some point. Which means we'll see Khadgar, we'll see Karazhan, we'll see maybe a little bit of Sargeras and the opening of the Dark Portal. Then is the question as to where are they going to end the movie? How are they going to do it? We're going to see the origin story of the orcs. That's part of it. We're going to see orcs fighting the humans with Stormwind. But then the question is, are they going to take the story beyond that? Are they going to go into the second war where, spoiler, Stormwind falls and the orcs go to Lordaeron? This story has been known for 10 years, so it's not really a spoiler. I don't know if they will. We saw also screenshots of Dalaran and Ironforge. So, yeah, it's possible. They could bring in the Kid and Tor, they could bring in the dwarves, but technically speaking, as far as I know, the Ironforge dwarves didn't join the story until the second war. So there are a couple of ways that they could go with that. And I personally would love to see a trilogy, to be honest. And they could go with the first wars and the first movie, the second wars, the second movie, and the third movie would be Beyond the Dark Portal, where the Horde...
True, yeah.
Or they could go with the first and second war in one movie. It would be very tight, because it is a big story, but it would be very tight. But it's possible. Then the second movie would be Beyond the Dark Portal. And then the third movie would be Thrall and his story of rekindling the Horde and the whole Warcraft 3 storyline, basically, with Arthas and Archimonde, and basically the prelude into classic World of Warcraft. And that would complete the full circle. So Warlords of Draenor, movies, back to classic WoW.
Yeah, it would definitely be a something. I gotta move the regions back here a little bit because we are all like, look at,
oh
my
no,
God,
we're
what
all
happened?
puzzle pieces.
We're all pieces now. Yeah. Cool. That's pretty good. It's interesting. I don't know how that would work, honestly. I mean, we're living in the world now of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy, and obviously in the wake of like the Star Wars trilogy and stuff like that. So like these giant franchises can totally happen. I don't see why Warcraft wouldn't make 3 movies or 17, like Marvel. Who knows? Right? Like, you have no idea. You have no idea. So I think they could do that. I think going back that far is a good starting place, though. Like you said, you agree that like going back that far works well for like, because you got to start somewhere, and that's sort of as far back as you go without getting like all weird and titany and creation-y and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But then you go to the entire line. I don't see them making a movie about that. Oh, you mean the Warcraft 4 storyline, yeah?
Well, with just like the first Warcraft movies going back to the Lothar, back in the day, the starting of the first war, like where it all began. They can't really go back anywhere else. Like that's a really good starting point for them, right?
Yeah.
To get people back into the story, because
absolutely,
some people don't even know what happened back then. They have no idea.
Sure. And that's what Warlords of Draenor is for, with the whole storyline. It's to kind of give us the feeling like, okay, this is what it was like back in the day when I had to fight.
Which is weird. Do you think it's strange too, because the Warlords of Draenor story is not canon to what we know, but it's not like retconning everything because it's an alternative reality, right? It's not totally new. So now, how do you think that'll play into the movie? Will they go with the canon that we know from our timeline? Will they actually change them to be the Warlords of Draenor version? Like what?
No, it's going to be our timeline canon. Basically what they did with the whole Lords of War videos with Marat, who's telling the stories of the Warlords, they have been made canon. So no matter if the story was different from what we knew, that's just canon right now. And most of them actually fit. The whole storyline that we see happening on Draenor in-game, that's not going to be the same as it is for our reality. That's not the story they're going to tell. But it does give you a taste of what it was like for the Orcs and Draenei war. That's why we don't see Draenor once the Draenei are taken out. That's why we get dumped in the middle of the Draenei-Orc warfare.
Yeah.
So you get a taste of that. And somebody in the chat also suggested that the so-called remake of the Warcraft 1 and 2 games that they could do.
Right.
That's also to give people a little taste of, remember this? This is what the movie's going to be about. Remember this? See how it all fell and how it all happened. I think they're all prepping us to get us all there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I have to... 1 second real quick here. Oh my goodness. And oh my goodness. Huh.
Oh, we reconnected the whole call. Okay, I see.
Wow.
Yes, we're good to go.
Got it. Okay, we're good to go now.
I think we're good to go. Wait. Yes, he's a blue man, but he's still there.
I was like, what are we doing? Why did my Skype close?
The blue man is here, I think. We'll get him just back in a moment. So I think the last thing I wanted to close out with was just what you guys think is going to happen with like the launch cycle and anything else about BlizzCon 2014. Anything you guys want to talk about in closing? What you got? Anna, anything? Nobbel?
Well, I mean, I'm just really excited to see everybody there who's going to be there. You know, if you see me walking around, I'll be wearing my Something Wicked t-shirt or my Final Boss t-shirt most of the time because I love those. So my name will be plastered across my back. Feel free to come up and say hi. You know, I just love meeting everybody who I've met through WoW and through the show and through the community and through Twitter. And it'll be a really exciting time. And I hope everybody has as good of a time as I plan to have. You know, even though it's kind of a lull time in WoW, and I know I've been guilty of feeling a little bit down about how there's nothing to do and, you know, been kind of bored for the past half a year, but BlizzCon is the time to get really excited about new stuff, and I'm ready to get pumped and to see what Blizzard has in store for us. So hope everybody's as excited as I am.
Absolutely. Yeah, it should be awesome. Side second, I guess, there. Illumina, Emily wants to know if we had any opinions on Metallica yet.
A lot of people sound like they're excited for it. I'm sort of ambivalent myself, but I am happy for the people who are happy they're coming. Because I loved who they had last year. Well, didn't they have Foo Fighters last year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Last year there was a band that everybody was like, oh, I don't want to see this band. And it was so much fun. I had such a great time. So I'm open-minded. I'll enjoy it no matter what, probably.
Right. Exactly. Nobbel, anything?
There will always be people complaining. Any closing thoughts for BlizzCon? I really hope to hear of the Storm open beta. I hope it's going to be fun. I hope the Q&A is going to give a lot of new lore insights and whatnot. Should be really, really good. It's always fun to hear the developers talk and get their visions behind it. So last year was Blink 182 apparently. When was it the Foo Fighters then? Was that the year before that?
No, you're right. It was Blink 182. Sorry, I was getting it mixed up just because I had them both in my head. They're not very similar bands, but no, it was Blink 182, and it was a great concert.
I'm terrible with names. That's my excuse. But yeah, it's going to be hectic. We'll try to cover as much as the information that is given. We haven't even talked about all the other things like StarCraft, the new expansion. I can't wait to see that storyline continued.
Legacy of the Void.
Oh yeah, Protoss, baby. It's gonna be awesome. So I can't wait to see that released and get some information on that. And besides that, what we've seen from the beta Warlords, it's time to get the game out. It's time to get some new content, and I hope it's gonna be awesome.
Speaking of new content, what do you think of the possibility that we're only gonna have 2 tiers and a quick expansion afterwards?
Yeah, I've heard that. Is that confirmed now, or is that still just people's rumors and speculation?
I mean, it's
none of it's confirmed. It's all rumors.
Oh, okay. Because the way that I understood it is one expansion is going to be the Ogre Empire, and then we'll get the storyline leading into So that would be 2 patches, right? 2 major thingies.
Yeah. So what we would get is we get the launch patch, right, with High Mall and Blackheart Foundry. Then when we get the Ogre, maybe even possibly an Arakoa, Ogre Arakoa in the middle there. That's what we think. And then Grommash Hellfire Citadel is the last. We get 3. That would give us a normal launch, and that would hopefully not be 2 years worth, though. That'd be actually better to be squished into about 18 months.
Right, and no Farallon or no other thingamajigs.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of...
There's plenty of potential. They can always... I mean, there are hints and drops and pieces of Old God influences, so they can pull an Old God out of the ground, or there's always that possibility, but, you know, we can speculate hours. In the end, it's up to Blizzard what they're gonna do.
No, it absolutely is up to Blizzard. In the end, it will be up to them. I can't... We'll try this one more time real quick here. Title slating, and... Hold on. Friends. Chat room. A moment, and go.
Whoa.
Are you back?
Hello.
Oh, hey. Hey, everybody.
Ah, that was a weird thing. Sorry about that.
You're still a blue man, sir. Hit that camera button.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, every time you rejoin the call, you have to, choose to share your camera.
Good old Skype.
Would you like to share your camera with us?
Oh.
Right.
I still see a blue man, by the way.
Still blue man.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We may be stuck with blue man.
We may be stuck with blue man. Hopefully. Interesting. Our first ever live in-show crash. That was interesting.
Congratulations, Bellular. You've got the first one, matey.
That's a first for Final Boss. I like it.
That's a first.
Got the touch.
Got the touch, but not the power. So we were talking about any closing things about BlizzCon you wanted to touch on?
Ooh, closing things. Well, really, I just think it's going to be a great BlizzCon. It's not going to be Warcraft, but there'll be a lot of other extremely cool stuff. I really want to see what they've got going for Diablo 3.
Right.
Hopefully, something like, I don't know, not expansions, content patches, like to keep us going every few months. Stuff like that will be awesome. Just, yeah, more Blizzard stuff, really. Should be good. Looking forward to Metallica as well.
Oh, you are? Okay. That'd be good. We talked about that when you were off. There you go.
Any big video plans from either one of you guys with regard to BlizzCon for your YouTube channels?
I'll let Nobbel go. Oh, yeah, sure. Not really. I'll probably just do the usual thing where sit down, do the old 48-hour job, and sort of spew out whatever's interesting, really.
Sounds good.
Yeah, same here. It's going to be up to updates on the Facebook and the Twitter, like, oh my god, this is hot off the press, you need to know this. And then at the end of BlizzCon, I'll read through my notes or start making videos about that. And once the video is done, then the next segment of BlizzCon is going to begin. We'll make notes again, make video about that, and then we'll sleep.
Sounds good.
That's basically what's... Yep.
At some point, you will sleep. One day.
At one day, you will sleep. Yeah, no, because we're looking at BlizzCon BlizzCon after this year, 2014 to 2015. We've got Warlords now, late 2014. We got Heroes, early 2015. Legacy of the Void, mid 2015. Whatever the heck Overwatch is. We've got Diablo 3 content patches sort of keep happening. I kind of feel like Diablo 3 won't just give us a new expansion. They'll just kind of add stuff as content patches. Kind of feels like a better game for that. And then we got Hearthstone expansions and or adventures or whatever we get there. And then possible next IP. So it's a lot of stuff in this like year and 2 month period. Woo.
Yeah, man. Busy time. Busy times. But fun though.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Well, we'll all see. Everybody stay tuned for all of the coverage that we'll have.
Absolutely. Well, I guess I'm gonna hit the button. Where's the button? There's the button. Up. We got there. I hit the button. Yay! Thank you all very much for watching, everyone that joined us in the chat room today. It was awesome. I couldn't even keep up with it all the time. It was a little bit crazy. But thank you all so much for being here. There's no real after show for this show. So if you had questions, of course, hopefully you got them in during the show, or you can always tweet at our guests. And we'll go back to, we'll do Mr. Blue Man first real quick. This is Bellular Gaming.
Very mysterious. Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Great time in the show. Bar the, fun midway. Yeah, so I guess you can check out the stuff. Just type in my name into the various search bars that you can find around the internet and you'll find me.
Yep, Bellular is on youtube.com/Bellular Gaming. All one word right there. So check him out right there on the YouTubes. All your socials, of course, are right there on the YouTubes as well. Thank you for being on the show, sir, even though you are a blue screen right now. It's fine.
That's marginal improvement.
It's a marginal improvement. I like it. And there is Nobbel, the Noble himself, right there. You can go find him on the YouTubes at Nobbel87, and then pretty much everywhere else on the internet, you're Nobbel87, pretty sure, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. And all your other stuff is listed in your About page. Sir, thank you for being on the show for the 17th time. Hopefully we have 17 more of you on the shows in the future.
Always a pleasure, man. If you ever need me, just give a shout, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. And chat room, thank you so much. You're all lovely people, all 2,242 of y'all. Don't forget to hit follow if you like the stream. And yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks for shamelessly plugging me again.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
No, return the favor. Oh.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's Anna, the co-host of FinalBossTV. You can go find her on the Twitter at AnnaPhil. There it is.
At AnnaPhil, yes. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to the show again. Look forward to meeting all of you that I will at BlizzCon. Yes. Come up and say hi if you see me. And make sure to stay tuned for Bay has tons and tons of plans for BlizzCon, like he was talking about much earlier in the show. And I can't wait to share all of the coverage that we'll have with everybody who likes Final Boss every week.
It's going to be wild. Again, after the episode today, again on our social media, or if you already subscribed to us on YouTube, you will get to watch on my own, finally, 9 months later. This comes out later today, as well as all the new apparel or art that'll go up on our Design by Humans store. And of course, we'll tweet it out and Facebook and all the good stuff. Thank you all very much for watching. And if you're at BlizzCon this year, please bump into me, because if I'm filming stuff, you could be in a video. You never know. So bump into us. Get wristbands too. We have Final Boss wristbands. There's so many of them. Oh my goodness gracious. Please bump into us. And there's no show next week because I'll be in California. However, there's 3 to 4 videos coming out. Again, we got the BlizzCon live grade, Method in Midwinter and Heroic Highmaul. We got the BlizzCon 2014 sort of like behind the scenes on the floor, what it feels like to be there. We've also got the interview vlog-ish sort of thing where if you bump into me and I interview people, you might be able to say hi. To do that, we'll see you after that. The following show, which is going to be on, check my date, on the 16th of November, will be a post-BlizzCon wrap-up. We will have Icy Veins and Ask Mr. Robot on the show.
That's going to be a really good one.
Community
Some great
websites.
people there.
So we'll see you there for that one. If not, we'll see you at BlizzCon. And until then, guys, have a good reset. I would say trust in the coin, but if you're raid this week, I don't know. Maybe trust in the coin. One last time. One
last time.
And we'll see you all next week, everybody, or at BlizzCon. Have a great week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bellular, you can't wave, but I hope you're waving. I can't see you.
Oh, I put my heart into it.
Yeah.
Waving in spirits.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.